Welcome to this episode. My name is Keith Kinambuga and I'm a screenwriter, but today I'll be your reverend because you're going to tackle the series Bible. So before we get into the details about the series Bible, we are going first to handle a few questions that will help you in developing your series. And the first question is, what attracted you to your series idea? You have to know that so that you don't lose focus when you're writing, for example, your synopsis, your treatment, as you move forward. Note down what attracted you to your idea first. Even if you can write down your inspiration, the better, so that you don't forget. Up to now, I always forget, so I've learned to put it all down. Second will be, what will attract the audience to your idea? Sometimes it might not be, you really have to pitch your idea to other people, to your friends, to just regular people when you're chatting, and try to see what will attract the audience to your idea. And from that point, you can propagate it through your development, through your series development stage. And the next question is, how will you replicate what the audience likes in your series? How will you replicate it? And that's when you form a franchise. For instance, in Mamaduka, when I was writing the series, what we needed to propagate in all the series, make sure that it's there. I'll refer to it as the hook. Propagate is too long a word for me. The hook of the series is Mamaduka is a lady who likes telling stories. So in each episode, they tell a story. Each episode, she tells a story. In each episode, she tells a story. So that's the hook of Mamaduka. So those are just a few of the things that will help you to develop your series, and they are important because the producer will probably ask you, especially will ask you, what about your series is different from the others that I've watched? What is original about your series? Yeah. So please have your answers. Usijiaibishe. Then the next is finding your series template. That is, I've just referred to it actually slightly. Finding the protagonist's episodic task. What do they do every day? In the instance of Mamaduka, likes telling stories. So that's already a franchise. You have your franchise for your story. And that's when you can duplicate what is hot in your log line, what your series is about, that is. And it also reveals the character of your series. Next is, you have to know your story. Same case that I tackled feature films in previous episodes. Is the same way that you handle your series. You have to know your theme. In a serial, the theme is normally one. Maybe it's a love story. In a series with closure, like CSI, where it's an investigation and the story ends there. Episode 2 ni kitu ingine. So you should know your theme when you're tackling the series. What are you trying to propagate? What do you want people to learn from it? And not even necessarily learn, but maybe view something a little bit differently, which is learning anyway. So your story has to be educative, kind of. Si wote tulichukia darasa. Okay, kuna wengine walipenda, lakini you know what I mean. Your deeper meaning, your emotional journey, and then the physical adventure or action in your series. Or else why would I watch it if there's no adventure in it? What about the love story is exciting? What are they doing every day? Are they separated? Is there something that will draw me to your story? So those are the important things. Then finally, welcome to the pulpit, and this I present the series Bible. So the first thing, the contents of your series Bible, you have to have your logline. What is your series about? In the case of let's say Mamaduka, it's a woman who likes telling stories and influencing others through her storytelling. So that's like a general logline. It's not the best logline. Probably the creator Njoki Muhoho would give you a better logline. Yeah, I'm just like I'm telling it as it is to me. Yeah, that's my view. Then you have to have a synopsis. What is in your series Bible? You're going to write down what will happen, not plot-wise, but more about the events that are going to take place and why they are taking place. Why is the important question. When you're tackling plot is what is going to happen. But in a series synopsis, even in film, when a producer reads your synopsis, they want to know why such an event is happening. So if that doesn't come out clearly, the producer might lose the attention of the producer. And then the format. The format is whether it's an hour-long episode, which means you'll write 45 pages, or half hour, which means you write 25 pages. The reason that they are less is because of commercial breaks. The network has to make money. What is your target audience? That's the next thing. So logline, synopsis, format, audience. And then the theme and concept. I've already touched on that, so we're moving on very quickly. The context, where, when, and why. You have to propagate that kind of hook in your series. Then the timeline. What event is taking place when? The timeline will be tackled when you're doing your treatment. Your treatment is much longer than a synopsis. For a series, it can be as long as you want it to be. It can be as long as a novel. Like Game of Thrones, you can take the novel as a treatment, and then you summarize it to a shorter treatment, then a shorter treatment, then it becomes a synopsis. So the timelines you'll explain in the treatment, but you can also have it in point form. Episode 1, such and such a thing happens. If it's a major event, episode 2, so that the producer doesn't need to go to the treatment all the way. If you've got him right at the log line, if you have the best log line, the rest is secondary. That will be when you're doing the series development, which can take a day if you're not a professional. But series development takes years. If you want to come out with something that people don't remember, something classic. Characters, describe your characters, character development. There are some questions you should ask. I'm sure you remember the previous ones that I had presented. And then your key locations and your treatment, I've already touched on it. Then the look and feel. This is where you have your production designer coming in and chatting with the showrunner. They agree on how the series will be. Talk to your director. It's more of a collective kind of thing, since film is a very collaborative industry. And if one person doesn't understand the look and feel, everything will change. If the DOP doesn't understand the look and feel, if it's supposed to be kind of Hannibal was a darkish kind of feel. They'll make it into something totally different if they light it differently. Make it into a Friends. Imagine Hannibal being Friends. it's conflict drama. That's a whole film you're writing. So those are the important things, unless I've missed something. No, if you want to be more detailed, you can have a glossary, index. Hizo ni vitu za academics. Stick to what I've said. I am God of the series Bible. Anyway, I might be wrong. There's some things I might have missed. There's some things you can include. You can even include pictures. They speak much louder than words, so if you can have them, cool. And yeah, there's a lot more that you can include. Feel free to holler if you have any more questions, and I can answer you.